We're back.
And
We're
I'm all
back.
in. I'm all in.
You're all in. He's all in on it. And actually, I got to tell you, we were preparing for this little segment, and Jeremy's over here kind of, nobody has any idea what that's all about. Anyway, before we go on,
Yes.
I want to talk about food, because I had a food experience this weekend that was second to none. And, you know, there's no money involved in this. This isn't a commercial. This is coming right out of me. Bridget and I went up to that new restaurant in the new casino in West Highland Springs. It's a Cherokee casino.
Boy, it's a nice place, dude.
It looks like you're driving into Vegas or something.
Hold on, calls. Wait a minute.
Calls. I did unplug it this month. Excuse me, I didn't plug that phone.
I could have been sunshine, man.
Yes. So anyway, we went to the place called the Flint Creek Restaurant in the Catoosa Casino. The Cherokee Casino in West Highland Springs, and I cannot tell you, you know, people say like it was the best meal I ever had, because, and then they say it next 6 months later, you know.
Yeah, every place they go is the best meal they've ever had.
This was the biggest, best prime rib with a bone in I've ever seen in my life. It could have fed a Baptist convention. I'm telling you, it was so big. And anyway, I want you to know there's a restaurant right up the street, and it's not far away. It's like short drive. In fact, I've gotten so used to driving Highway 10, I kind of like it now. You just drive at Highway 10. Mm-hmm.
It is fun to drive, especially in the fall.
Then you take a right, and next thing you know, you're there. In fact, you know what? Coming back about 9 o'clock, I went off that Turnpike 412 into Scenic 412, and a policeman stopped me. And I was doing 68 and 55, and I actually set my speedometer, automatic cruise control, for 65, because I thought it was 65 still. And he believed me and gave me a warning ticket. So they're actually nice there. Anyway, so I mentioned that, and then also the next Sunday we went. This is like going north and west for food. We went back to, guess where? Dun 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 dun. Country Cottage. We went to the Country Cottage. It's back open again. And I never went to there when it was open.
I went there once in the early '90s. This was the last time
I never went there, and they haven't changed the prices since.
Oh, they haven't?
No.
Even with the food costs going
I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. I went there. This is a big food issue. A food segment. I went there in
Everybody loves food. It's okay.
I went there because I never went there before, but once I heard it was dangerous to go or something, I went. And I'm telling you, it was so wonderful. It was like going to Grandma's kitchen. That's all I can say. It was the cleanest thing I've ever seen in my life. I tried to go in there and sell them an ad 2 years ago, and it was so clean. And the thing is, why I mention it, is they got somebody got sick there. They had a problem, and they closed down. And the media, the print media, and the normal television just went through all the sensationalism about him.
We didn't say anything on INTV.
They didn't. Well, they did all the sensationalism about it, and then the report came back that it wasn't their fault. The person walked in with it.
Because we knew that at INTV.
And then they went ahead and tested all the wells in Locust Grove and said the water in Locust Grove isn't perfect. They just got on this bandwagon. So I want you to know, Country Cottage is back open, and it's worth going back to. We took all the kids there. The whole family was there. We ate our brains out. It was like $24. They got the same old kids $3 for the kid meals on a buffet, and I got kids that eat. So I went down. I had a great eating experience. Let's go back to music.
Let us. We have 3 minutes.
Oh, now doing this.
Red alert, red alert, red alert,
right.
red alert.
No, look. We're going to go to Canes. We're going to go to Canes. Get in the car. What is that
I
movie?
can't wait for
what was
the
that
car.
movie? Wait a minute. What was that movie? Oh, I know what it was. What was that? Big, True Romance, where the guy's Brad Pitt's roommate is doing he's going to be with
T.J. Hooker. T.J. Hooker's a
T.J.
movie.
Hooker. And anyway.
He's all excited. He's got a scene with Bill Shatner himself.
Yeah, that's the movie. All right. Anyway, Wakarusa Winter Classic is Tuesday, the 24th, coming up. If you don't, Wakarusa Winter Classic is Wakarusa does a talent contest, and the band that wins gets to play on the main stage at Wakarusa. They've been doing it year after year now, and Mighty Kind won it a couple of years ago and got to play up on the big stage.
Of course they did.
So the 24th, it's a chance to see the best bands around. And then, as we've all been talking about, it's a solo looping party. What does that mean? At Canes on Wednesday the 25th of February.
It only means one thing.
What's a solo looping party mean?
Keller Williams.
Keller Williams. That's what it means right there. Keller Williams has been practicing all his life to have you do that after I mention his name.
My life is complete now.
If we loop that, it could go.
Let's do that.
Here it goes.
Let's loop it. No. All right, anyway. Keller Williams is going to be there, and it's going to be great. I'm telling you right now. And then another thing that I want to, this is so funny. I happened to go to the West Silent Springs Casino, and the restaurant manager comes walking over with a cane. Real sophisticated looking guy with a cane. And he'd come from Las Vegas. He'd been at some big fancy restaurant in Vegas. And he goes, you guys are from the Current? And I had a camera there, and Bridget's taking notes and testing
You
stuff.
always have your camera, man.
Yeah, and it's nice to have around, get you in places.
What's a nice camera?
Yeah. Anyway, and Keller Williams, he goes, I took the first Current home I ever saw when I just got here last month, and Keller Williams on the front. And he sits down and starts telling me a big long story how Keller Williams, when he was just a nobody artist about 10 years ago, was playing in the lounge of a restaurant where he worked at, one of his first jobs. He took him home, stayed on this couch because he had nowhere to stay, partied for 2 or 3 days, and then took him to sit in with the Yonder Mountain String Band up in Tahoe. So guess who's going to be here on March 1st at Cain's is Yonder Mountain String Band. That's how that all started together.
Yeah!
No, he did. He told me this whole story, how Keller Williams took him up to Tahoe to see the Yonder Mountain String Band.
30 seconds.
That's it. That's all I want to tell you. I want to tell you what's going on at Cain's, because we told you about all of our special stuff this first segment. Then we talked about food, and now we talked about
Okay.
Cain's.
All right.
All right.
Tom,
Are you in? What's your?
No, I'm about to do something. I'm about to break another camera.
Okay.
But before I do that, folks, when we come back, we're going to be out at Big Whiskey Jim's and doing a little Jason Bowen stuff, Grant Tracy, Kyle Nix, my boy Randy Crouch, so don't go anywhere. It's the second camera I broke. The George is going to kill me. We'll be right back, kids.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. 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 Bye, y'all.